Hey, how's it going? This is Terry from Space Jam. We're here today to try something completely new, which is a gear demonstration. Today we're going to take a look at the Taiwam RAT pedal that I just got from my buddy Sam Wadsworth, who builds pedals right here in Bushwick, Brooklyn, and plays in some really sweet bands, including Geometers, which is one of my favorite local bands. And yeah, I just got this pedal from him. I'm really excited about it. I posted a picture to Instagram, and someone asked me if I would demo it, so I figured, what the heck, let's give it a shot. Anyways, what we've got here is a pretty powerful and versatile take on the sort of classic RAT circuit. You've got all the basic controls that you would expect, including the volume, cut controls, which is the high frequency roll-off, and of course adjustable gain. But this pedal also includes a sweep control, which allows you to dial in different amounts of low frequency content via what's known as a Reutz mod on a RAT. A lot of pedals have the Reutz mod either just built right in as an always on type of thing, or maybe switchable, but this actually allows you to kind of control how much of it is affecting your signal. And then on top of that, we've got a blend control on the bottom, which allows you to blend clean signal in with the distorted signal from the pedal, which was something I had actually had a bunch of chats with Sam about, something I really wanted for bass specifically, because I like the sound of RAT on bass, but generally speaking, even with the Reutz mod, I find it just changes your low end too much. However, today we're not going to look at bass, although maybe I'll do that in a future video at some point. We're going to look at some of the guitar sounds you can get with this, which has actually really impressed me, and it's been living on my guitar pedal board since it's arrived here at the studio. So I'm playing my Fender Jazzmaster. It's got the 65 pickups, and it's a fun guitar. Through my Fender ProSonic amp. The clean sound sounds something like this. And so yeah, let's jump over to the pedal. Oh, so I forgot to mention, we have a diode selector here on the left. So the up position of the diode is a classic RAT clipping section, which is to say 2 silicon diodes, as per my notes from Sam. The down position offers 2 diffused red LEDs as an alternative, and the middle position has no clipping. So let's start with kind of the stock setup. So I've got the sweep knob all the way to the left, which is off. So basically classic RAT setup here with these 3 knobs doing the work, and let's hear what it sounds like. Sick. So hearing that a little bit makes me want to hear what might on the bridge pickup. Got some good bite, some good honk. I think the RAT tone is kind of known for being kind of very forward, slightly aggressive, even a little bit brash, and that's kind of the fun of it. The cut control allows you to rein it in slightly. Makes it sound a little bit beefier, kind of pushing the mids forward, so you can cut some high end, of course, and then if you boost the volume, you're kind of effectively boosting everything else in terms of prominence. Still plenty of clarity. I've got the gain set kind of just over 50% right now. We could take it down and hear what some of the low gain settings would sound like here. They can be kind of cool. Switch to my middle pickup for a second. So it's kind of bright in a fun way. It's got a cool like breakdown kind of sound, I feel like, with these lower gain settings on the stock clipping, where you can kind of, you know, drop the bass out or something and do some kind of cool. Everybody come back in or some shit like that. Cool. All the way down. It's almost totally clean. The volume jacked. You can hear. Neck for a second. Cool. Very mid forward in a good way, not in an annoying tube screamer way. Yeah, so this is just dealing with kind of the stock RAT settings here. So this is already a pretty sweet pedal. From there, we can hear the difference when we switch over to the LED diode setting. This is quite a bit louder, so I can take the volume down a bit. Here's, so we're still in a low gain setting here. Bring up the gain some. 50%. Even at these middle gain settings, there's still some nice snap you can hear coming, some of that gut from the guitar coming out. Let's try like a really high gain setting here. So you can get into fuzz territory pretty quickly. That's pretty sick. Here's a heavy setting back on the original diode, just for comparison. By the way, I've got the cut all the way off at this point. I find at the highest gain settings, when you're getting into that high level of compression territory, it's less necessary to roll off some of that high end. the stock setting is a bit mid-ear. The alternative to me, a little more open, a little more clarity even at the highest gains, but they're both like really sweet sounds and totally have their purpose. For sake of comparison, here's the clipping off setting. So without the clipping, there's less compression going on, so you can hear some of those kind of picking dynamics kind of jumping right through, which is cool. I could see this being nice when you're like kind of stacking gain stages in front of each other, where maybe this would be in front of like your amp distortion or something. On its own, I kind of prefer having some of the clipping in the circuit because it just kind of compresses the whole thing and glues it together and makes it a little less prickly. But if you need max volume, and again, if you're driving something else, this could actually be a really sweet option. So let's start looking at the sweep controls. We didn't even get to that yet, and the blend control here. I'm gonna jump down. Let's go back to the stock setting. Let's find a decent kind of. So, that's sweep control completely off. Now, let's bring it up to about 9 o'clock here and see what that does. Off again. So you can hear right away there's a little bit of a change in the way the mid-range is structured. We're bringing in some more of those like low mids. When we turn up the Reutz mod. If we bring that sweep all the way to 50%, off again. Comparison, you can hear that. Full Reutz mod. Take down that cut a bit. We're open now. Again, rolling it all the way back off. So, I mean, it also has the effect of kind of changing how much gain you're hearing in the circuit. So, with the Reutz mod off, it's already kind of more distorted. If we wanted to try to match the level of distortion a bit, maybe it'd be more like this. Jumping down to our other diode setting for point of comparison. Now that's ballsy. There's definitely some serious kind of thump happening without it being like muddy, which I think is really cool for like riffy stuff. Makes me want to... Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, like the full up Reutz mod sounds really sweet on its own, but I could see where kind of rolling that sweep control back a little bit at least leaves a little more of that low end area for your bass player to fill out, which is always a good thing when you're performing live. So I love that you can kind of just dial in exactly how you want it. I'm gonna dial in really quick one of my favorite settings I've found so far, which was kind of an unexpected one. Let's see, so the cut control is kind of in between 50 and 75. Gain control, again, kind of in between 25 and 50%. Sweep, right about where it is now, actually. Volume set to taste. There we go. And again, we're on the diode switched down and the LEDs. This one I love because it's sort of like just over clean kind of crunch. It's almost like when you drive a tube amp really hard, like some sort of like Fender amp, which like usually to get that sound you kind of have to jack up the volume a lot. Listen to the difference between just a straight clean sound. There's a little bit of a volume difference here, but also it's just so much beefier, and it has that slight amount of compression that I think makes it just much more musical. And also, depending on how hard you're playing, you can go from like almost completely clean, and then if you're digging in more, a little bit of grit kind of comes into play. Now, if I switch over to the bridge pickup here, I'm gonna bring back a little bit of my tone. Sounds cool for like something riffy like that. If I'm playing something more sensitive, I might actually take this opportunity to roll back the blend a little bit, because I'm getting a bit more compression since my guitar is putting out more low end on this pickup setting. So I think that's a really nice use of the blend knob there. If you take the blend knob back further, signal, back to almost completely, well, completely. You'll hear it's pretty close to the tone without. There's definitely a slight change. It's a little bit less bright with the pedal engaged, even with 100% blend, but pretty cool range. On these low gain settings, I think it's pretty cool to be able to kind of blend exactly how much grit you want without having to really touch the gain or the cut or anything like that. This setting to me is the kind of thing that maybe I would use as like an always on type of thing, maybe like here, and use it in front of another pedal. So just for point of comparison, I'm gonna switch on my Sir Riot, which is kind of my stock distortion on my pedal board. Actually, let me let you hear that without the Rat first. So then we switch the Rat on. up to the bridge. Maybe I'll jack this back all the way up. Here's that setting without it, just the riot. So yeah, that's the RAT pedal from Taiwam. This was their first sort of production run of a few of these, but definitely reach out to Sam if you're interested in getting more. If you need contact info, you can contact me, and also post his full kind of specs and rundown of everything this pedal does. It really does quite a lot. It seems just really, really versatile distortion. Everything from low gain to high gain settings seem very usable. And for my board, I can very easily see using some of those low gain settings as kind of a bass sound for a lot of what I do. At the same time, I can definitely see using this in the studio for all kinds of stuff, from like really brash, harsh, kind of classic RAT distortion sounds to fuzzier stuff down to kind of middle gain, chunky, chugging kind of stuff too. So yeah, definitely keep tabs on Taiwam, and they'll be putting out some cool new stuff soon. Let me know if you like this and find this content useful. I can do some more of these for other random pedals I have. I have quite a number of them. Or yeah, I don't know. Just let me know. Later.